Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L, and now let's talk Dragon Ball Super episode 109 and 110. Apologies for the late upload on this one. The weekend got too busy beyond watching just the episodes. Anyway, let's just get into the video. Now, episode 109 and 110, they are the special. They are incredibly special episodes, and because of that, it might be a bit more difficult to talk about this one in a proper kind of format. What I ended up doing during the episode was I took up a lot of notes, and those are going to be notes that we're pretty much going to be talking about in this video. Now let's see, how do we start this? Well, okay, let's talk structure of the episode, because overall the two episodes are just fighting episodes. Because of that, it's actually way easier to talk about it, because there's less story movement, because really what you end up having is Goku starts fighting Ribrianne, then transitions into fighting Jiren. They have the fight with Jiren. Goku uses a Spirit Bomb. The Spirit Bomb comes back at Goku. Very interesting to see Goku get hit by his own attack. You always wonder what would happen if Goku got hit by a Spirit Bomb. We find out next episode. Goku comes back. He's super powered with Ultra Instinct. He goes fight Jiren. Jiren shows that he can still take Goku. And then we end off the episode with Goku down. Those are the broad strokes of the episode. And so these episodes just end up being way more of a visual spectacle. And that was pretty cool. Like, overall, you know, there were 3 series that had hour-long specials pretty much in the last 2 weeks. They were Dragon Ball Super, One Piece, and Made in Abyss. Those are the 3 that I'm aware of. If there was another one, apologies. Of those 3, Dragon Ball Super did the best with its extra hour airtime, pretty much. Made in Abyss is a different beast altogether. But it still provided a lot of nice story, and the One Piece special, if you would call it that, is atrocious, just flat out. That the One Piece special was atrocious. That's Toei. Compared to the other 2, there's no way you can argue that, especially when you compare it to Dragon Ball Super. There's no way to deal with that. I mean, the One Piece special ended up giving you like what, 3 extra minutes. It was a 26-minute long episode. No, man. Dragon Ball Super is where it's at. So anyway, let's start talking the episode, because a lot of my notes are about how nice this episode looks, and then there are some little moments in there that make it really valuable. Now, just from a technical level, I think that episode 109 was the more visually impressive, because episode 109 maintained tempo for much longer, and there was certain elements in their scenes that just worked way better, or just were really cool to watch, and we'll talk about that in a while. And then episode 110 slowed down quite a bit. If you notice in episode 110, you will see that we spent the first 6 minutes dealing with the Spirit Bomb explosion. And mind you, the Spirit Bomb explosion was beautiful, but it was still just an explosion. There's not really much there. And then we spent the time without Goku, and then we spent Goku and Jiren's fight getting cut up and watching what the spectators were saying about Goku. Of course, that was necessary, but you have some different things happening in the animation and the art during those segments. At the 19-minute mark is for episode 110 is where we go straight just into an uninterrupted fight between Goku and Jiren. Before that, we have more of the Goku and Jiren fight, but it's more exposition. And during those sequences, we have the art for the animation kind of dipping a little bit, because they're trying to maximize the fluidity, and so you lose some of the details. And because of that, overall, because episode 110 had more instances of things being broken up, I feel from the viewing experience, 109 comes out as being the more visually impressive episode. And the thing with episode 109 is that the visual impressive quality of that episode was present from the very beginning, and it was most prominent with Ribrianne, because when we're starting that episode, I did not think that we were going to be hitting it, just hitting the floor running when we had the Ribrianne fight with Goku. And so 109, I think, is unquestionably the prettiest episode, although both episodes end up being very pretty. Episode 110 hits the standard of good Dragon Ball Super quality episodes, and episode 109 exceeds that general standard. So that's how I interpret the 2 episodes. Another thing that episode 110 did is that it also gave us the opening fight sequence. This is a fight sequence that these guys have had drawn for a very long time, and we finally get to see it in the fight itself. Okay, so let's just start talking the episode a bit more specifically. And mind you, I'm not really going to cover much about the Ultra Instinct besides, oh my god, that was amazing. There's just not much to talk about here other than it's really impressive and I guess the ramifications, but we'll leave that for the end. And speculation will be left for the end. Let's just start praising the episode. So, at the 6-minute mark for both episodes, in that first episode, 109, you know, that's where things told you, like, alright, we're going serious here. And it was really funny that we started with Ribrianne. I mean, it's that makes sense. That's where we left off last episode. But starting with Ribrianne, I wasn't expecting much. But when Ribrianne started her fight, it got way more oomph than I thought possible, man. And it was just cool to see that fight unfolding because it was a very dynamic fight. And that fight in particular, they had one little sequence where when she moved, it looked like her body warped, and that added so much energy to the scene. That was just so good, man. That was a beautiful shot. Overall, with the Ribrianne scene, I thought it was a pretty good establishing fight. It established the quality for the episode. And with Ribrianne, you know, it's funny that she is still such a joke, except, you know, the way that they use her as a joke is it's kind of subtle. You know, like she has her rhetoric, like she wants to be a god of beauty and whatever and love. That's cool, that's whatever. But it's the way that she reacts to getting hit that it's just hilarious. Like you see her face contort and it's just the most silly thing. And then you have them playing with the moral ground there, where Ribrianne is hiding behind a rock, or she gets scared off by Jiren. Well, that happened first. But then when she's hiding behind a rock and she's seeing that Goku's powering up or getting ready to use the Spirit Bomb, and she's about to shoot Goku from behind, and then you see Vegeta just swat her away. You know, when you have that kind of thing happening, when you have that character being just delegated to some comedic timing, you know that they're not taking her really seriously. Why should I take her seriously, right? She's a joke of a character. Everyone calls her ugly. She makes ugly faces. She does despicable things when another character, and the thing is that Universe 2 and Universe 11 did associate themselves with each other. So seeing that she would break the honor rule when she didn't want that to happen to her, you know, it's hypocrisy, right? So they point out the hypocrisy of the character. Yeah, actually, yeah, because she had that big deal about getting attacked when she was powering up. So there we go. When you have this character, we see that she breaks down pretty fast, and she is a joke with the way the writers are treating her. And the moment she did that to Goku, or she tried to do that to Goku, she broke the moral ground. She's not relevant anymore. She's pretty much just gonna get swatted by Vegeta at this point. Overall though, like, I still enjoyed her fight sequence. Again, the episode 109 was amazing, and it started off with Ribrianne, so I will appreciate that. Mind you, I very much enjoyed when she was transforming, although it was only butterfly wings. They threw me for a loop. I was really expecting something else. Now, I think episode 109 also had the sequences where Goku was fighting and we would be flashing over the battlefield and we would see the other fighters watching it. That was such a cool little detail. It was so awesome. I don't really know what else to say. Like, 109 had cool little details that made the fight sequences much better. Now, little notes to make about 109 is because we had some interesting rhetoric popping up in there. So this is pretty much the notes that I made. It was cool that the Void World was reacting to the hype of whenever any character powered up. It was cool to see Beerus kind of startled halfway through there. And then we got rhetoric from Krillin explaining Goku's thing that he wants to bring out the best in Jiren, so there was martial arts thing. And then we did see Jiren kind of answer that when he allowed Goku to charge up his Spirit Bomb. Even if it was just because he wanted to crush Goku at the strongest, I do think there is still some level of that honorable spirit in Jiren, and I really respect that. That was cool. It really makes Jiren a opponent, not a villain, and that goes a long way. It was also very unsettling how unflinching Jiren is. Like I said before, we got to see other fighters as Jiren and Goku was fighting. That was pretty cool. The use of music in the scene was also very nice. It was cool to have those, I think, that common theme that we usually get. It was cool to have it play there. Let's see. The gods made a statement about low-level universes, the ones that are in the safe. And you know, like, again, the low-level universe rhetoric, you can't get carried away with it. Like, it's based on averages. As far as I'm concerned, Jiren and Goku probably have some of the highest mortal levels across all universes, and especially with Goku achieving a level that the gods can't achieve. The whole thing with the mortal level, like, it's relevant, But there are exceptions to the rule within each universe because it's a law of averages. And that the gods are getting caught up in that rhetoric, it's just kind of like, it's kind of stupid, but it makes sense. They're using their status, but at the end of the day, there are individual characters that can trump any one person in their own universe. Another interesting note that we got in the episode was from Universe 11, where Belmod was pretty much talking to his angel and telling her that there's no one that Jiren can lose to. And in that particular sequence, it felt like he was directing that comment to also the angel. Now, we have a lot of speculation going on with the angels, so that comment being there, you know, I might be reading into it. I might be biased with the idea, is there something else going on with the angels? But when he's speaking to the angel, it does feel like he is directing that to her as well. Anyway, with Universe 11, we find out like Jiren might be the guy that the gods can't beat, which is pretty cool. So those are the general notes about 109. Overall, I think 109 is the stronger episode. Then we go into the second episode, 110, and we spend like the first 6 or 7 minutes watching the Spirit Bomb struggle. Again, it was cool to see that struggle, but beyond that, what else? Then the episode becomes about Goku and his power up, and things that I could say about that. It's like, it's a spectacle, of course. Like, it's awesome to see Goku like moving. It's awesome to see the world that Goku sees because it happens so quickly. And then just seeing Goku's general body language during it too, like how he's moving kind of like he doesn't really know what to do, or how he's pretty much not wasting movement. He's just kind of still acclimating to it, and it's just neat to see the ease with which he gets past Toppo's Justice Flash and whatever. Again, very beautiful sequence. Ultra Instinct looks good. Not much I can say about that beyond that. Talking specific notes, the part that really got me in this one was when Beerus looked really distraught about Goku like vaporizing himself. Of course, we also had that struggle with the rules, but we know that Goku pretty much self-destructed, so that was alright. Everything was safe. But anyway, seeing Beerus sad, that worked really well. They also had some sad music playing. I think it worked really well. We've heard that track before. Doesn't matter. It worked out. Another interesting note, that the other universes were ready to go. I think that's interesting. Universe 4 in this episode also like showed that they might not be that concerned. I'm not sure if that's just the general personality of Universe 4's God of Destruction. He does seem like an arrogant guy, but it's probable to imagine that most universes have some kind of trump card in their sleeves and they think that it's enough to take on Jiren. We know that Universe 4 still has 2 missing fighters, so that might be a thing, but we'll have to see what actually happens with Universe 4. I think the little guy might just be really arrogant. And yeah, fewer notes for this episode, but once we get past the beauty that is the fight sequence and the explanation of Ultra Instinct, it is cool to see Vegeta coming back to see Goku and asking him what's going on with that. Now, as a Vegeta fan, like, I am pretty sad that Vegeta won't be able to climb to this level of ability, right? I get it that they're rivals. It's just like every time that Goku takes a fundamental step up, it's like, well, shit, now what's Vegeta gonna do? At this point, Vegeta has to stop playing catch up and he has to start developing his own special techniques that can't beat Goku's techniques, but maybe could actually rival them. Like, that's what we want out of the characters. Now, when it comes to power-ups, it gets a bit harder because, like, that's Vegeta's only way out. He has to power up the same way another Saiyan powers up. But I really would like for Vegeta to differentiate himself more from Goku, because right now they're just dealing with the same thing. And the thing with Goku is that, especially with Dragon Ball Super, we've seen how valuable the techniques that he learned from King Kai are. We know how valuable the techniques are. Kaioken being his big boost when he's going into Super Saiyan Blue versus Hit, and even here going against it with Jiren, trying to deal with Jiren. Kaioken at the end of the day was a move that Goku had in his arsenal from the very early days of Dragon Ball Z. And then the Spirit Bomb, we see how big of a deal the Spirit Bomb is. Oh, and really on the note of the Spirit Bomb, it was cool to see the people that helped Goku form the Spirit Bomb. Vegeta didn't help directly, but he kept interference at a minimum, so that was pretty awesome. But again, the Spirit Bomb is King Kai's technique that he passed on to Goku. That's amazing, it's these small techniques that end up being the catalyst for bigger things. And when you look at it, when you look at Goku's unique arsenal, ignoring projections like Kamehameha, we have the Spirit Bomb, we have Kaioken, we have instant transmission. You know, can we give Vegeta some of those type of irregular techniques? We know that Vegeta's been dealing with the Room of Spirit and Time. We know that he's been breaking it. Are we gonna get to see some dimension affecting abilities from Vegeta? You know, at this point, especially with seeing the other universes, we do have the possibility for irregular techniques popping up, and it would be cool if Vegeta developed some of them and didn't just try to play up the Saiyan modes of transforming. You know, a Vegeta with time skip would be pretty cool too. Like, it's really just an issue of I feel bad for Vegeta, and I really want him to develop some other things. Now, at the end of the episode, we do see Frieza and we see Goku, and in the preview we see Goku and he looks a little bit better, and we know he's going to be alive for the next couple of episodes. So what do I think's happening there? I think Frieza might just blast Goku, or like just put him at death's door just so that he can come back with the Saiyan boost, and then he'll be able to fight Jiren again. Now the issue is just whether or not Goku can regain his stamina in time, but I really think Frieza in this one is going to be helping Goku more than trying to kill him. Frieza might have noticed that he may not be able to take on Jiren by himself, so wanting Goku around because Goku has the capability to take him on and wanting to make Goku stronger for that end, I think that's perfectly within line of self-preservation Frieza. But yeah guys, I'm going to leave it there. That's pretty much the episode for me. Overall, it's a beautiful episode. There were a few notes that I was really excited about, and yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. So guys, let me know what you thought down below. Until next time, I hope you have a very great day.